Welcome back to Painting and Decorating. This video is showing you the final steps of the painting on this room. I've got one more coat to put on the ceiling and coving, which I'm about to do. And that's what I'm going to use. So once I've done that and allowed that to dry, I'm going to start the walls and I'll show you some painting on the walls. Ceiling finished. That's what I'm going to put on the walls. The customers bought that. Right, always make sure you use sturdy paint up. I'm using a 2-inch synthetic bristle brush. You can use a pure bristle brush if you want. In fact, I should say synthetic filament. That's what it is. Anyway, I'm forever getting the words mixed up. Wipe the lid down. Once you've stirred it up, I've got my paint kettle and my scuttle, a medium pile roller sleeve, got my roller pole as well. So I'll show you some cutting in, and I'll show you a bit of rolling as well. Now, while the edge of the ceiling is still drying off a little, I'm just going to do coating around the window. I've added a small amount of water to this. Usually I start off and see how thick it is and how it goes onto the wall I'm using, because every surface is different. But this needs a little bit of water in it, just to allow it to flow a little bit better off the brush. First coat round the window done. I'll just show you. Nice colour. Nice colour. So I'll show you a bit of cutting in over there now. On that bit above the door. So I'll show you some cutting in and then I'll show you some rolling. I've actually swapped brushes. That's a pure bristle one. The synthetic was okay, but I do prefer the pure bristle sometimes, depends on what paint I'm using. So again, I've added a little bit of water to this, just to help it flow a bit. Now, what you don't want to do is go right up to the edge with the coving first off. You want to work away first, and then bring your line up to it. And you can neaten the line up on the second coat. I always work the corners out a little bit, just makes it easy, you know, when you're rolling. Easy as that. When you come to doing near any woodwork, you want to create a little edge over the woodwork. You don't want to be bordering the woodwork in loads of paint. It's always nice to overlap paints. It just leaves that neater finish. Make sure you spread it out nicely, don't leave any lumps drying. more or less it. Put on the side of the casing. I tend to work a certain area, and then if I'm cutting down, I'll take it towards the skirting, but I don't go along the skirting. I'll finish the top and then bring the bottom in. When it comes to rolling the wall, make sure you've got your scuttle near you. There's no point in running around the room. I've not added any water to this because it spreads quite well with the roller, and I want to fill in any joints that are slightly open. Make sure you finish your rolling at the same height all the way across. Perfect. Right, so I'll carry on. First coat is nearly dry on the walls now. So you can probably just see, let's have a look, there's a fine line, and that's the joint. I'm going to mix a hard stop filler and go round and fill any joints that are particularly wide. I'll show you mixing the filler. Some powder filler. Now mix that with a little bit of water, but not too much, because what you want to do is add your paint to the filler so you make it the same colour as what you're using. And also when it dries you don't have to seal it, it's already sealed because you added the paint to the filler. We call it a hard stop filler. So once you've added a little water, you've got it to that stage, you want to add some paint. And mix it to a nice creamy consistency. You've got to have it perfect. No lumps. I think the camera's just picking up that line there. So what you want to do is come across it. Try and be as neat as you can. You will need a light sand once they dry. But hopefully you can see there, that's nicely filled. I've filled all them joints now in the whole room. Just going to allow that to dry. And once it's dry, it just needs a really light sand. I've got some P240 there, that's pretty good. Or you can use, let's have a look, a sponge pad, that's 120 that one. It's been used so it's actually a bit smooth. So either of them, you give it a light sand and then you're ready for your second coat. Another thing that's slowed this job down now is the fact that I've used fibre liner on the walls. It's a lining paper that I generally don't use. It's new on the market, isn't it really? So I don't use it, I use the old paper one. Never had a problem doing anything with it. Leaves a perfect finish when you paint it. You can butt up the joints, you can cut it how you want, you can fill the joints how you want and nothing shows. And I've done these walls now and I'm left, this is the second coat. So they should be finished, this would usually be finished with lining paper. But I don't know if you can pick that up down the wall there. That's the joints where I've done my filling, and you can see every kind of mark in the strokes. Sanded down, I've done usually what I do, and it's left a mess. The paint hasn't soaked in proper, it's left it patchy in places. I just don't like it. So, and when you feel it, it's absolutely rough as anything. It's pulled all the fibre up, and it's just so rough. So now I'm going to have to sand the whole room down and then apply a third coat, and hopefully it'll be okay. But I'm not using this stuff again. I thought I'd just sand this little area down here. You can hear how rough that is. And you can hear the difference when I go back over it. The sound goes. That's because I've smoothed it out. I'm going to have to do that over the whole wall. That's brilliant, that now. But if that's what you have to do with this paper, nightmare. So the walls are finished, just about to my satisfactory, but I won't be using that liner again. That's what I'm putting on the woodwork. That's a Valspar satin, water base. It's not bad. I've just done the door. Quick look at that. So that's the door done, and I'm just on with the skirting boards. I've already done the windowsill, although the wood itself isn't that good. It's quite ropey in wood. So I'm just doing this skirting board down there. I thought I might show you a little bit. Let's just get this set up. So I've just worked out that corner there. Someone's asking me how you paint into the corners, and generally you work the bristles in. You know, you don't start in the corner, you just work them into the corner and work out from the corner either way. It's never easy, never easy. The first coat is always the hardest, and you're cutting into a colour. Cutting into a colour is always more difficult. But if you get all your prep right, you can get it as neat as that. Now this needs a second coat yet. It's not bad paint, but you always need to put 2 coats on. Not bad for the first go. Light sand when that's dry, and that'll be alright. What I'm doing there is just trying to close up the brush marks a little bit. Makes it a lot better for the second coat. That's my finger, you can hear it on the floor there, just so I've got a guide when I start there, just so I'm not touching the floor. Beautiful. Finally, all finished, nearly. I will have to come back. The floor needs boarding first, so there's going to be probably some touching up to do. The final thing I did was fitting these sockets with USB charging. Sometimes you're better off fitting things like this before you do any decorating, because it's actually smaller than the other one. So I'm going to have to do some touching up on that, or just get a backing plate. But yeah, it's done really well. I'll just show you the door there. I do like them doors, and it's come up well. Let's have a look at that other side. That's yellow, and that's the primer obviously, so when you put your nice white on, not bad. Let's have a quick look at the windowsill. Not bad at all. Now again, this fibre liner, I won't be using that again to paint over. I may use it if I'm going to put a wallpaper on, but I'm certainly not going to use it to paint, because the surface of it is absolutely hopeless. It doesn't want to absorb the paint properly. it furs up and it's a pain to deal with on filling joints and sticking back stuff. Sometimes changing stuff isn't for the best. So I'll leave you with that thought.